Hi, it's Stephen here from Ted's World of Imaging, getting you educated about photographing for maximum bokeh. Bokeh is one of those remarkable things in that as a beginning photographer, you were probably captivated by it and wished to recreate it long before you'd heard the word. What is bokeh and how do I say it? The word is a Japanese word, literally meaning blur, and is pronounced bokeh or bokeh. Bokeh refers to the dreamy blur often seen in the background of images. Popular amongst portrait photographers, in particular, this look can add a romantic feel to your images. So how do we add bokeh to our images? Here are our top 5 tips for photographing for bokeh. Number 1, use a lens with a fast aperture. A lens with a fast aperture will give you a shallow depth of field when used at its widest aperture. Look for a lens with a small f number like 1.8 or 1.4 or even 1.2. There's some great lenses specifically made to give you that fast aperture and beautiful bokeh. Number 2, go for a lens with a longer focal length. Wide lenses or lenses with a short focal length tend to give you a deeper depth of field and therefore limited bokeh. Lenses such as 50mm or longer will shorten your depth of field, therefore blurring the background. Longer focal lengths such as 85mm give you a great combination of reach and the advantage of a shallow depth of field coming from that extra focal length. Number 3, keep a distance between your subject and the background. Having a reasonable distance between your subject and the bit you wish to blur, the background, will make your job of creating that dreamy, bokeh-y photograph even easier. Keeping that distance will also make sure your subject will pop from the background, especially when you have painted the background with all your newfound bag of bokeh. Number 4, sensor size matters. The larger the sensor, the shallower the depth of field, and therefore the greater the bokeh. A full frame camera, for example, will give you more bokeh for a given focal length than an APS-C or 4/3 camera. If you have one of these smaller sensor cameras, you can compensate by getting a faster lens. So on your APS-C camera, try an aperture of 1.4. This gives you a great depth of field separation. And here's that word again, bokeh. Number 5, the number of aperture blades will change the shape of your bokeh. A lens with a larger number of aperture blades will make your bokeh rounder and softer, whilst a lens with fewer aperture blades will be less likely to achieve that glorious, swirly, blurry, bokeh-y feel. Higher end lenses frequently have more aperture blades for this very reason, making your blurry street lights round. Bokeh is a beautiful effect that gives your images character and sets a mood. The lens you choose and the aperture let you add bokeh to your photographic toolkit. Pop into your nearest TED store and one of our enthusiastic staff can show you the options, and before you know it, you'll have beautiful soft portraits faster than I can say bokeh or bokeh or whatever it is. Want to know more? Head to teds.com.au/blog or keep updated by subscribing to Teds on YouTube or following Teds on Instagram at Teds_cameras for all the latest Teducation. You can also join Club TED to stay updated on the latest news and content, as well as be eligible for all Club TED only offers. See you soon.